Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey and I'd like to show you this game from last night before the more recent patch for New Bloom came out. I've done a lot of consideration in my team, I've spectated a few games, but I haven't actually gotten to play under the new patch, mostly because I've been out celebrating Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year to any of my viewers who celebrate it. Yay. So, it's another Chen game, but it's mainly to show you just how strong Chen is in this format. Now, I've talked before about how the New Bloom extends the mid-game. By lengthening the mid-game, a lot of heroes suddenly become so much more viable. Especially the early mid-game. It's kind of why Undying is so popular in this format. Undying wins early to early mid, and then he drops off fairly quickly. But the early mid-game lasts a lot longer here. So, this is a fairly standard lineup for us right now. Queen of Pain, Warlock, Razor. The Earthshaker was something we were testing out for our last choice. We wanted Dazzle, but the enemy team picked it first. Mainly, Earthshaker provided lockdown, which is what we wanted. And so I get Chen again. And why I want to show this game is because in this game, in the last game, you saw how effective it is when my Chen joins the clash. And the current changes means that you don't actually want Chen to ever join the clash. You want Chen to always be pushing a separate lane. Because the Flak Cannon changes mean that once they see Chen plus creeps plus your team together, they're going to turn on Flak Cannon and it's going to be painful. But what you want to do right now is to use Chen to bait that Flak Cannon a lot earlier. And when you bait it out a lot earlier, then it frees up your team when the Year Beast comes along and they're clashing. So, and another thing is that Earthshaker synergizes very well early on. It's an effective tri-lane.
30 seconds until digital sports.
I'm actually wondering whether it's more important to show the EXP or the gold gain early on, because that matters a lot. So we have Razor offlane. Razor does fairly well offlane, and really we just need him to get levels. 1 point in Static Link is pretty good, just to shut down the Year Beast a little bit. And the Plasma Field is an effective AoE. Whether or not he goes for a point of Unstable Current or gets Static Link before the first push matters a lot. I gave Earthshaker the Bounty Rune because if he hits level 6, he's a lot stronger than I am. I only need to hit level 5, really. I think I end up hitting level 4 at the 5-minute mark, so that's unfortunate. I fail at the blocking, but Earthshaker comes along and the blocking works out. Mid is Queen of Pain against Sniper. Sniper is actually really good in this format, but you need to go for a more mid-game Sniper build. You don't go for the carry Sniper. So mid-game Sniper with things like Phase Boots, Maelstrom. Sometimes I'm seeing Mask of Madness for the attack speed, and of course getting a lot of points in Headshot, because that Headshot is pretty damn strong early on. It's pretty damn strong all in all. So this offlane of Undying and Vengeful Spirit, I'm not sure what it was meant to achieve. I think the Vengeful Spirit's aura was supposed to buff the Tombstone, but this Vengeful Spirit doesn't really do too well in my opinion, because this Vengeful Spirit kinda just maxes out his stun and his wave of terror. And by the way, the magic missile stun duration doesn't really increase, and it's not enough burst damage to level up the skill in this format. If you pick Vengeful Spirit, take Vengeful Spirit for the aura, because that aura will help your push a lot. We actually intended for Warlock to be a bit of our core, but he played a bit. He kind of defaulted to a bit of a support, because I think there was some misunderstanding in who was more important in getting farm between Earthshaker and Warlock. So Warlock doesn't hit level 6. Yeah, that was unfortunate, losing the clarity and not getting that last hit. Little things here and there. So as you can see, the Warlock isn't actually gaining as much EXP as the Earthshaker, but we go in, and the stun happens, and that repel was too late. This could have gone a little better. They blocked each other. So Razor gets first blood in top lane. I'll rewind just so we can see what happens. I actually don't really know what happened. So he drains from Vengeful. That's... oh, okay, so that's what happens. Makes sense. Sniper gets a kill in mid. Let's also see what happened there.
And the blood spills.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. What does Sniper have? I think, from what I remember, they underestimated Sniper's damage output, because as you can see, he went for 3 slippers of agility. That's a fairly decent damage boost early on. That's probably what happened. So I've got the center creep. I was hoping to be able to keep it, which is why I've kind of held back a little bit. As you can see, we're doing well in terms of gold. We're doing well in terms of EXP. No. Well, we're doing well in terms of EXP. Apparently we're not doing too well in terms of gold. Early on, to be fair, I think in our team the people who require the most farm would actually be Warlock and Chen, because you want to get the Aghanim's, you want to get the mech. But Queen of Pain really, in my opinion, just needs levels and a bottle. Razor could use threads, things like that. So yeah, this is the situation. This is actually a lot more even of a start than we expected, because a lot of us felt that we had this huge gold surge at the beginning. And I mean, we kind of did. We got the first blood gold, that was big. Razor will hit level 6 by the 5-minute mark. And he's got threads, so strong item. I get the bounty rune. Always good to try and control runes. Every bounty rune is so much more valuable in this format because of how starved everyone is for EXP and gold. As you can see, this is one of the problems. The Warlock wasn't getting enough EXP. So he was out here, and I get the stun off because Repel didn't go off in time. And we just block Dazzle. And blocking Dazzle's a pretty good deal because you really don't want Dazzle to have Weave. Weave is such a strong ability early on. So shutting down the only person on the enemy team who doesn't really get too strong at level 6, in my opinion, is Undying and Vengeful. Those two just kind of need to have stronger versions of their more important basic spells. So I get the bounty rune again. And as you can see, it's really keeping me up in terms of EXP. In terms of gold, I'm doing alright too. And this is where the year beast is coming up, and this is the part which I wanted to focus on. Now, like I said, in the last video you saw what happens where we all grouped up around the year beast and we push together, and that's not so viable now with the Flak Cannon changes. The Flak Cannon spell that's been added to the towers, well, added to the year beast to give to the towers. So what happened now was their year beast went to mid, and I basically just told my team rotate to mid. Because me, Chen, and the Year Beast together, because our Year Beast, by the way, has 1 speed, 2 support, and 2 combat. 1 point in speed is good because level 2 speed has phased and haste, and the supports are useful for the aura. So you can see the health regen aura is decent. And so these guys are not trying to win the clash. They are a 4v5 plus year beast. It's so strongly like against their favor. But what they are trying to do is to buy time. Because as you can see, I just took down a tier 1 tower with 2 creeps and the year beast. I don't have like a 3rd creep yet. And I was a bit worried. I was just trying to see whether they'd retreat. I used the Wrath here on our Year Beast just to figure out where they are, because we can't see them. And once they're revealed, I go back in. So they retreat. I give the Year Beast double damage. And just like that, things are looking up for us. So they can't really go back into a clash. And there, we get tier 2. And then I start rotating to mid. We try and figure out what we want to do, and simply because we know they're on the run, and as you can see, I have my buckler and headdress at 650. And simply because we know that they're on the run and we know that they've retreated, we actually decide to send the Year Beast back to mid. Because I'm rotating to mid, and that's actually going to be a fairly good push for us. And just as you can see, Chen alone is pretty strong. If you leave Chen and the Year Beast in one lane, and then the other 4 people can hold off another lane fast enough, and this went just as well as we could have expected. Queen of Pain or Razor are the 2 people who we want to farm. They sort of scale well. And just like that, we get another tower. Undying here gets caught without any sort of support. So that was... yeah. This Shallow Grave was really good. This Shallow Grave saves him. And he gets away, I think. Or is he poisoned? No, he's poisoned. Never mind, he doesn't get away. I lose the creep there, and that creep is pretty good because the creep gives like a 3 armor boost to everyone around it. It was a pretty bad loss. That Hand of God, by the way, is from the Year Beast. So, what I was saying earlier about the early mid-game lasting longer, look at everyone's levels. No, there's very few people who are actually level 6. And by the way, this Undying teleports in, and so we just get him. He starts pinging on the Dazzle and the Omniknight, but the Dazzle used a Shallow Grave on him. And Omniknight, well, Omniknight was just out of position, unfortunately. So, we have 4 towers taken at 8 minutes 20 seconds. That is what Chen gives you. And this is why I'm actually really liking Chen in this format. Even with the Flak Cannon, like I said, if you have Chen on a separate lane to the clash, Chen forces them to blow Flak Cannon on just one hero. You basically try and starve them of their points, get them to spend a lot sooner. And really, that's all he really needs to do. He's not going to be as strong in a clash anymore. Chen should not be with the team now. There's even less reasons, because AoE burst damage combined with the possibility of a Flak Cannon on the tower going out means that you just don't pick Chen for clashes. Pick Chen for pushing. His ability, his solo push, is just insane. So yeah. This bird, by the way, very good in a group. 3 bonus armor. It cannot be underestimated. If you're someone low on armor, that's easily about 12-14% more damage reduction. Physical damage reduction from right clicks, I mean.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked. Radiant have fortified their towers.
So, I mean, Undying ends up here in a really bad position. And as you can see, they still haven't taken our tier 1. They tried for a push, and Undying's trying to hold us off. I'm using my Year Beast. I'm using my Hellbear to just buy a little space. The Year Beast decides it wants to head for bottom, but I think we teleport it to top lane. Mind you, at this point, we've pretty much expended most of my points, so the rest of my team is doing most of the spending right now. And once again, as you can see, they're just trying to go in and hold them off. This was really unfortunate. I'm not level 6 yet. I only just turned level 6. So, unfortunate. But yeah. And as you can see, while that's all happening, they're still trying to take our tier 1 mid, and I'm just rotating and getting my getting tier 1 top on their side. So yeah, once again, like I said, you pick the 4 to stall, and that's really what's happening. As you can see, the Year Beast is getting completely gimped by the fact that it behaves like a creep. And so you can redirect its attention for a few seconds, and yeah, they finally take our tier 1. And I mean, this was, yeah, just like that. Fairly strong. Queen of Pain gets a kill on the Year Beast, on Vengeful. Dazzle gets away. He should have died, in my opinion. But all this is happening, and I take tier 2 top. Just like that. I mean, Undying dies. I think there's a lot of emphasis on AoE burst damage and clashing power, which is correct. But this format is really about pushing. The Year Beast becomes this gigantic aura totem. And just like that, we're already knocking on their door. Dazzle
Dire have
gimps the Year Beast, that's fine.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
But we just rotate around, and like this Hellbear gives bonus attack speed, and this bird gives bonus armor, and I'm taking some of their creeps and I'm pushing.
Dire's top tower is
And this all synergizes so well. Like I said, your team has the possibility of getting kills if their enemy's out of position, but depending on a clash team versus another clash team, really depends on who's just picked the better heroes or who's out of position. Whereas this, in my opinion, is a lot more dependable. It's not an all-in. It's not really anything too drastic. And because people's levels don't scale up as fast as they normally would in a normal game, these creeps last a lot longer because their stats are just fantastic. So I mean, we just retreat to jungle, starve them out a little bit. The more important thing here is the Year Beast is coming up in 15, and what you want to do is you want to keep all the lanes pushed forward so that any lane the Year Beast comes in, he's going to be knocking on their door. You don't want him wasting time having to push a lane. It gives them extra time to prepare, harass him, so on and so forth, especially when there's a sniper. So they're grouped up in the worst ways possible. If you look at the EXP graph, we've got a pretty good lead, gold graph as well, because we got all the tower advantages. And I mean, now that we started warding, like we didn't really get wards at the start. We got some. We got wards early on to deny their pull camp. But yeah, this is just a fantastic situation to be in. So they see Warlock at top, and they don't realize we're in their jungle. So they actually decide to rotate in after this creep wave. Yeah. So you can see it right there. They're actually rotating in right now, thinking that it's just Warlock. So what ends up happening is this. They catch me, and I get to use my Hellbears. I got to use one Hellbear and one Centaur. The Tombstone goes down in a bad position. I'm in a horrible position, admittedly. So I'm gonna die. But Queen of Pain here just gets a double kill, and yeah, that's a huge win, especially because the Year Beast is coming up in 15 seconds, as you can see. There is an unfortunate thing here where Earthshaker blinks and misses his fissure, and so gets killed. That was unfortunate. That shouldn't have happened. By the same time, I don't think Earthshaker realized that the Vengeful Spirit was there, because she wasn't actually present in our clashes. So this isn't the best position we wanted to be in. Like I said, we wanted all the lanes pushed up. The clash kind of worked in our favor. We got some EXP. Queen of Pain especially got a fair amount of gold. And I mean, Queen of Pain right now is the most important person on our team because her AoE burst is insane. They're not going to be able to get a BKB with this sort of pressure without any of towers. They've got no money for a BKB, and Queen of Pain just scales up so much harder. And just like that. So once again, like I said, the Year Beast is being very aggressive. There's another kill for the Queen of Pain. And this is one of those situations where I was like, we should just be trying to get this tower. Yeah, I ran back all the way, so I don't think I managed to get creeps. I might be wrong. That's okay. I have a mech. That's a lot of armor. We did notice in hindsight that no one got a Ring of Basilius, and I think that's why I was supposed to have this Ring of Protection to turn it into a Ring of Basilius or a Vlad's. But we decided get Necronomicon. Necronomicon is just insanely strong in this format. It is, in my opinion, this huge coup de grace because really, once you have it, suddenly all of their AoE lineups just don't work anymore. people, like, you shut down their Undying, you sort of shut down their Dazzle if his heal wave kills your red unit. Sniper's Maelstrom can come back to bite him. Omniknight's heal is dangerous for him. The only one who is highly unlikely to kill the red unit is Vengeful Spirit, unless she decides to right-click it. The Satyr Tormentor isn't one of my favorite units. I mean, his Unholy Aura is decent, but it's not one of my favorite units. I have him just because. And they go in on Razor, but I think I saw Dazzle in the jungle. So he manages to evade them, and that's a failed gank on their part. We don't have anyone pushing bottom, which is a bit problematic in hindsight. But basically, I was roaming their jungle because at this situation, aside from Undying, I could take any of them in the jungle if I have 2 or 3 creeps. 3 or 4 to be safe. The Hellbear Smasher is a good push unit, and they're so starved right now, it's not even funny. Now, I mean, admittedly, we're a bit starved for gold too, because no one went bottom, and that was a problem. So we lost our tier 1 bot tower. Not optimal. The ear beast is coming up in 1 minute 30 seconds, and I was wondering at this point, do we want to consider blowing Warlock's ult, because it would be up in time. Wait a minute. Yeah, it would sort of be up in time by the time the ear beast comes to a line. So Dazzle here was trying to do some warding, which was the right call. I don't know why he put this down. I don't know what he was hoping for. Maybe he was hoping he'd catch a ward. But no, our ward is here. It's pretty cool. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't be getting as much farm as I am. I should probably hope the Razor gets more farm. Little things here and there. Well, like, if you look in the items our team has, level 3 Necronomicon on our side. I've got my Necronomicon recipe because it's the more expensive bit. He's got part of his Aghanims. We've got Sanjin Yasha. It helps. It's an all-round item for Razor early on. Earthshaker's got a Blink Dagger. We're in a very good spot. They don't have a mech. They have an Urn, which isn't good in a clash. And they've got Mask of Madness, which is strong on Sniper, but not enough at this point. Like, he would have been better off going for a Maelstrom first. So this was unfortunate because this tree over here actually blocks Earthshaker from going up, but we couldn't really do anything, so Dazzle gets away. And we see the Yerbees going bottom, and basically what we decided to do was just keep the lanes outside their base. Use this time to push the lanes forward, figure out where their Yerbees is going, so now we know it's top. And so, essentially the idea was push 2 lanes at once, and really, as you can see, we're just keeping the lane forward, hoping they do something stupid in the meantime. Like, if Undying pops his tombstone and then we rotate to bottom, that's awesome. So Yearbeast has revealed himself, and so my entire team starts rotating to bottom lane. And I wanted to push that creep wave, so I'm rotating now. Not sure why I held back for a bit. Sorry for that. So the Wolf for the 30% armor, the Hellbear for the attack speed aura, and this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. That fissure was nice, that stone, that Warlock chaotic offering, everything just happened. I mean, we lost our Razor, that's unfortunate, but nothing is stopping this push. Just look at it. And so even if the towers have flak, that's fine. And really the only adjustment that would have needed to be made was just rotate the Chen. Put the Chen in another lane.
barracks are under attack.
Just like that. So we got the bottom racks, we're getting mid racks. And all the while, I mean, we're putting so much pressure, and the Year Beast is scary enough as it is.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Just to mix things up a bit, let's give mega creeps to Radiant.
We got top lane, and so basically we just got all the lanes in one fell swoop. And that's what Chen gives. Chen's creeps are like a lighter version of the totems. I'm in a very bad position here. I did not realize how out of position I was. So this ends up being a horrible clash. And we sort of don't know, do we stay, do we go? No one made that call. So there I go, Razor died earlier on. And Queen of Pain's trying to get away. Queen of Pain's doing fairly well. If those things hit her, that would have been quite disastrous. Now this is the thing, Queen of Pain got this rune, but instead of going bottom, Queen of Pain got hit by Dazzle, and so Queen of Pain will inevitably fall.
No.
Long live the Queen. And so what I wanted to talk about, I guess, was how Chen is, one, still very strong, and two, what does the Flak Cannon mean? Well, the Flak Cannon essentially means you want to push, but you gotta try and bait out the Flak Cannon. The Flak Cannon's kind of like a weaker Glyph. It's to deter people from pushing. So what happens is you send your Chen, or someone who can push equally well, to another lane, and then you just have that person hold the siege until they either burst out Flak Cannon to try and deter him, and essentially use Flak Cannon on a single target, on a single hero, or you do quite a lot of tower damage such that when the Year Beast comes up, it's fine. If they try to do Flak Cannon and Glyph, that's fine. They blew two big spells, two huge deterrent spells, and they've overlapped the times. So don't really worry about that one too much.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
And there goes Dazzle. And yeah, Sniper has Shadow Blade, that's not optimal. Like, Sniper right now is built for single target. You never want that. You need a Maelstrom at some point if you're taking a Sniper. As you can see, our creeps are just melting. Because these are mega creeps on a level 11 hero. Like, yeah. And they're just trying to bait us. I kind of wish I had a Hellbear instead of two of these Dark Troll Summoners. I mean, the Summoner's decent. And our creeps are just wailing away at them. Like I said, these are mega creeps on level 11s or lower. Like, yeah. The Omniknight's level 8. So.
Radiant is working through its issues with Dire's Ancient.
And just like that, we walk up, we push, we get our Aghanim's Warlock ult. And just like that, we're just pushing. Once again, my team goes in to hold them off while push happens. And as you can see, my creep wave is right here on the bottom left. So, Chen. Chen is very strong, pushing is very strong. How do I feel about Flak Cannon? You kind of need to bait it out. It's just a deterrent. So I hope this helps you in the new Bloom. I hope I'll be able to upload something in the future regarding the latest patch of New Bloom. And then I can talk about what sort of changes we made to our strategy. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy Chinese New Year again. For those of you who want to follow me on Facebook, link down below. And subscribe. Alright, bye guys.